Hi guys, I'm Justin from Cooking with Coit. I specialize in clean comfort cooking, and today I'm going to show you how to make this super classic and very delicious marinara sauce. And if you love this video, make sure you hit those like and subscribe buttons. Let's get started. There are so many things that we are totally preconditioned to buy from a store, but the better version can be homemade. Marinara sauce is the perfect example of that. There's so many uses for marinara sauce. Of course, there's pasta and lasagna, as we all know, but I also made this really good eggplant parmesan, and I put this homemade marinara sauce on it, and it tasted incredible. I guarantee you that a homemade marinara will always taste better and fresher than any store-bought version, and best of all, it will taste better because you made it. First thing we're gonna do is chop an onion. Next, we're gonna mince 4 cloves of garlic, but actually I'm gonna use 5 because 2 of these pieces are a little small. Next, we're gonna saute our onions, so let's add a little olive oil to our pan. It's about 2 tablespoons. We're gonna saute these for about 4 minutes or just until they're about soft and translucent. Now that the onions have softened a little bit, we're now gonna add our garlic. It's very important that you don't add the garlic too soon in this process or else the garlic's gonna burn. And since I like my marinara sauce with a little bit of spicy kick, not too much, just a little bit, I'm gonna add some red pepper flakes. I'm just gonna add about a pinch. You can do this totally to taste. We're gonna saute all this together for just about another minute. Next, we're gonna add our can of whole tomatoes. If you wanna save a little bit of time, you could of course use a can of already crushed tomatoes, but I'm using whole ones because that's what I had in my kitchen. And since these are whole, I need to crush them a little bit by hand, so I'm gonna use my spatula for that. Here's one thing that I always forget, I'm so glad I remembered. When you crush a tomato with a spatula, odds are tomato sauce is gonna come flying out, so just be mindful of that. This is probably a good thing to wear an apron for, but. These tomatoes are proving to be a little bit slippery in the saucepan, so I'm gonna use my masher. If you have one of these, they're super helpful, and I use it quite a bit in the kitchen, so. Oh yeah, there we go. Now they're getting mashed up. Next, we're gonna add 1 teaspoon of oregano. Oops, it's dirty now. Okay, 1 teaspoon of oregano. And last but not least, we're gonna add a sprig of basil. The basil adds so much incredible flavor. It is essential to this marinara sauce, so don't skip it. We'll give it a little bit of a mix around. Now we're gonna let the sauce simmer for about 45 minutes. Guys, I've got this really great tip for you too. I store my homemade marinara sauce in these little mason jars, and I chose this size on purpose so it was kind of small. What I do is I throw these in the freezer after I've made it. The frozen sauce lasts anywhere between 2 and 4 months, and it's really a great time saver during the week to just pop it out, defrost it super quick, and throw it on some spaghetti. All right, 45 minutes is up. Let's take a peek. Ooh, this looks and smells awesome. Next thing we're gonna do is remove our basil sprig. We don't want that in there for the next step. Now, this is completely up to you how chunky versus smooth you like it. I like mine a little smoother, so that's why I'm gonna give it a blend. If you don't have an immersion blender like this one, you could also use a full-size blender too. And this is, again, a little bit of a messy situation that I probably shouldn't be dressed this, oh, I've already got myself. I probably should have a apron on, but I don't because I'm kind of an idiot. There you go. Yeah, this is looking good. Okay. One thing that you might want to do if it's looking like there's not enough liquid in this sauce, like if you've simmered it long enough that some of the liquid is kind of like cooked off, you can just add a little bit of water just like this. So I'm just gonna add just a little bit to help the blending process. Just that much. And I'm really just looking for the chunkiest bits of the tomatoes that are still left. I'm just making those nice and smooth. This is now getting to that perfect consistency where it still feels a little bit chunky, but it also has this smoothness to it that's really nice. Last thing we're gonna do is salt and pepper to taste. I do a couple big pinches of salt. And same with the pepper. Let's give this a little mix, and I cannot wait to give this a taste. But before I do, if you've loved this recipe and you want to see more just like it, check out my healthy recipes playlist. All right, let's get into this. Oh. I don't have an Italian grandmother, but I imagine if I did have an Italian grandmother, this is the marinara sauce that she would make. This is so delicious. It is just incredibly flavorful. Guys, you've got to try this homemade marinara. Do not buy it in the store. Make your own. I'll see you guys in the next video.